I was hiking and tenting on my own through a snowy area where I lived. This area is very vast and you don't see many other people around, but that's just what I love. I love how vast and open it is. I love being in the wilderness. Heck, I'd rather live there than in normal society, to be honest. It's so nice and silent and so loud when it wants to be. It's just perfect. My story begins with one of these hikes. I decided to go on a nice long one just to get my mind off of my normal work life. So I set off with my tent in my bag, and that was it basically. When I began the hike, everything was normal. I was really enjoying myself listening to my music. I kept on walking like normal. For the first day, nothing happened. I set up my tent, gone to bed, woke up the next morning happy and refreshed. I did notice something strange though. There were some scratch marks on trees around me. I guess it was just animals that had made them. I decided that was a better incentive for me to start moving quicker, as there could have been a dangerous animal around. So I picked up the pace a little and started walking. As I was walking, I could see something up in the distance ahead of me. I wasn't too sure what it was. It appeared to be some type of animal that was in really good camouflage with the trees surrounding. I wasn't really sure what to make of it. I just knew that if it had claws big enough to make the scratch marks that I'd seen earlier, I needed to get going. So I kept on. It was starting to get a little dark this night, but I decided just to walk a few extra miles just to try and get away from whatever that animal was. The whole time, I could hear some strange noises coming from the forest area and trees. I could hear these strange clickings and tappings on the wood. I wasn't sure what they were. I just thought maybe that was the animal trying to communicate with other animals of its own type or something. To be honest, it was a little odd and I started to get freaked out. It was too dark to be out at this time, so I decided I was going to set up my tent and camp out for the night. I went to sleep like normal, though I was a little paranoid. During the night, I heard the same clicking sound. What the fuck? It seemed to be getting louder and louder. I also heard some animals scurry away. This did shake me up a little. I had the option to stay in my tent, but I was worried the animal was stalking me. I decided to put everything away quickly, put out the fire, and start walking again, a lot faster off into the night. As I did, I could hear the clicking sounds getting closer and closer. I decided that I was going to have to start jogging. I hated jogging when it was snowy, but I didn't have a choice. I jogged for about a good 10 minutes. All the sounds seemed to stop at this point. There was a kind of eerie silence. I decided to look back because I managed to get up onto a bit of a peak to see if I could see whatever this was that was following me. As I did, I saw something really strange. I saw something in a camo outfit. This could have been an animal, but it didn't look like it. It had some kind of strange mask on and it was just staring plainly back at me. It really shook me up. Just as I was thinking that, I heard some cars and I saw some flashlights. Fuck, I thought, and I began to run. Then my heart dropped. I heard a voice. Hey, you there! I started running even faster. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears throbbing. Then I heard something that made my heart drop again, but in a far better way. This is the police, don't move! As I looked back, I could see it was actually a group of policemen with their flashlights searching. Very relieved, I jogged down to them and explained that I was pretty sure I was being stalked by an animal, and that I really needed to get back to safety and see if they'd give me a lift. I was a little pissed off because they didn't seem to be taking me seriously at first, or that's what I thought. This look of sarcasm turned out to be of fear when one of the police officers spoke to me saying, "You know, there is a serial killer out there that we're hunting for right now. We're definite it's him. He's walking around in a camo outfit trying to lay low." I was having a pretty rough time at work, feeling pretty down. I did something that I don't normally do. I decided I was going to go at the bar at about 2 in the morning. As I said, this isn't something I'd normally do, but fuck it. I was feeling so bad. So my journey began like normal, riding in my car, getting down to the bar. Nothing strange happened at this point. I went in there and started to drink my troubles away. I know how stupid of a thing this is to do, but I was so pissed off. I got talking to this one guy, talking about sports. If you know me, you know that I really don't like talking about sports. I think it's the most boring thing out there. This guy was a little weird, in the way he just looked at me. I even thought at one point he was trying to hit on me. Fuck, I couldn't get away from him though, so I thought I'd just ride it out. After talking to this guy for a while, he told me that he had lots of troubles and he was down here as a regular, basically doing what I was doing but on a daily. I decided that I should have left him, but I didn't. Stupidly. I started to realise that maybe I should leave this guy. He seems really weird. He started going in about how much he hates people, how much he resigns and despises his boss. He started to get really creepy after that. He started telling me about his ex-wife. Well, I say telling. He started describing how much he wants her to feel pain, how much he wants her to hurt and just feel like he does, because she caused all of this apparently. And he got even more weirder. He started going on about how much he'd love to just get a gun and shoot the both of them, swearing constantly as he did so. At the same point, I realised that it was so dark, it was so late, I had to get going. As I did, the man also stood up and went to get back in his truck. I was a little worried at this point. As I went to open the door and get away from this guy, another man walked in thankfully. This made me feel a lot more secure. You couldn't really see his face and he had a big bag with him. I nearly walked into him. He swore under his breath. He was saying stuff, but I thought that was a little weird and said sorry. And he just turned back and gave me this stone cold look. I've never seen anybody look at a person like that before. It was almost an animalistic look, but no time to dwell on that. The other weird guy was coming back. So I hopped straight into my car and gone home. As I went home, I made sure that nobody had followed me, and I was pretty on edge that whole night. I did hear some cop cars, but I didn't think anything of it. The next day, I woke up and turned on the news. It turned out that a serial killer had went in there, waited for everybody to leave, then murdered and mutilated a waitress. Then they showed a photo of what he looked like. And I remembered them instantly, them cold, animalistic, killer eyes. I was on my way driving home from work one day. I decided I was going to take this nice big open road next to a forest. This is because the road is nice and big, and at that time of night it's an easy quick drive home. Everything went like normal. Unfortunately though, I saw that the road appeared to be closed and there were some flashing lights and little cones up ahead. Fuck, I thought to myself, I hated going down there. It was supposed to be haunted and all that. Not that that scared me, it was just a little dodgy and there's lots of wild animals there, like wild boars and that. As I went to turn onto the road, I hesitated. At the same time, I swear out of the corner of my eye, I saw a little flash of light. It looked like a little beam or something. I wasn't sure. I just thought it was really strange. Why would anything be out there like that? Oh well. It was probably just in my peripheral vision, some kind of illusion or something. Especially not being out of my primary vision, I didn't really trust it. So, I took a deep sigh and turned onto the road. I tried to drive relatively fast, but the road really wouldn't allow it. Just as I picked up the pace, I was instantly punished where that I'd have a big bump I'd go straight over, nearly throwing me out of my car. so I had to slow it down, turn my lights on to a higher beam and intensity. As I was driving, I really did not feel safe. Every little sound would shake me up. I thought that at any moment something like a ghost or whatever, or a monster, whatever, was about to jump out at me. After about half an hour of this, I started to calm down a little bit. So I just continued on. Everything was peaceful after that for the next 10 minutes. As I was driving, I saw something up ahead, more flashing lights. Are you fucking shitting me? I thought to myself. How could they close this road too? What the fuck? And sure enough, there were some little cones and the road looked closed. There looked like there was a car there. As I got closer, I realised that this wasn't anything official. They were just little cones for hazards if you break down. You know, like you can buy in any store. I very nervously approached this. I stopped just ahead of it. How could they possibly be side on to me if they've stopped in the road? That makes no fucking sense. What, have they been driving through the trees or something? This was really creepy. I really didn't have any good feelings about it. I decided that this was just too strange. I was going to go as quick as I could past this car, stop for a second, and if there really was somebody there, then I would just go back to them. So I went down to do this, and gone for it, full beam ahead, just sliding past it, nearly hitting it as I did. It looked like there was a dead body. I driven up a little bit further and I looked back. I could have swear I saw the same little light up behind me as I did earlier. Now that was strange. That was definitely the same light. I really didn't like the vibes I was getting. I went to turn back, but I thought, no, this is just too fucked up. How could somebody die and have their truck sideways? I didn't have my cell phone, so I decided that I really wasn't in the right state of mind to deal with this. I went up to the authorities, gone to the police station. They said they were immediately going to dispatch. I waited in that room for a little while just to give a full detailed account of what had happened. It took a while and they gave me coffee, which I enjoyed, and recited everything. They seemed to be taking me awfully serious for something that could have happened anywhere and at any time. I know it was suspicious and all, and that I should have helped, but they did seem to be wanting to get far too much information. I got asked some more questions and then I was interrupted by the radio. The police officer excused himself and went over to it. So I just sat back, drank some more of my coffee. Then his face went completely pale. And so did mine. You okay, bud? I nervously said. He said yes and just put it down again. Then he went back into another room to speak to some more officers. When I gone back, he said, "Did you see anybody else there other than just that person in the truck?" I said no, but then I remembered the beam of light I saw. I said, "Oh yeah, there was some type of flashlight in the trees." Then he even went more paler, if that was possible. He looked at me and gave me this cold, serious look and said, "My police officers have just got down there and conducted a search. There was a man waiting in the bushes with a sniper rifle pointed at that truck.